What's up, everybody? You are tuned into the Output with DJ Unprotected, featuring me as your host. Now, we still have another week of Halloween, which means Halloween season lives on because October is still live. We've got another, 9 days, 8 days, something like that of this month, which is really cool before the other holiday season hits us. So this week we'll go over some of my favorite Halloween song playlists, just in case you happen to have a little get-together, a little good ghoul old time with whatever you're doing with your friends and family. But what songs do you put in a Halloween playlist? Well, I'm going to give you my perspective. We're also going to run through a technology update and have a discussion about staying up to date and is it absolutely necessary. Also, we're going to talk about fashion. Where we at? I've been out. Can't say I've seen some new styles. Is it really that time to be a fashionista, or is it just as good to go out and look clean? Like you kind of cared that day you're wearing clothes that aren't overly wrinkled, or maybe you are wearing a wrinkled shirt. No judgment here, okay? But seriously, I think it's worth to having the discussion, because what about the stylists out there? What are they doing? Are people just trying to look fancy for themselves, or are they just out there looking good for the gram? Plus, we got one more topic because, I like to talk about scary shit, and occasionally, I don't always watch TV or binge watch things, but if I do, it's probably something that's going to scare the crap out of me or really freak me out. So Netflix put out a show. It's called Evil, and it was created by CBS Studios. It was in the top 10 this week, along with Unsolved Mysteries. Didn't watch that one yet, but definitely watched Evil, and I think it's a really dope show. So we are going to talk about that. Now, this is going to be awesome. I'm putting it into existence right now. It is episode 19, okay? And 19 is an exciting number for me. There's a lot of things that have happened to me importantly on my life and definitely changed a lot of things. So 19 is cool with me. Plus, when I was in Vegas last year, played number 19 and hit some cash to have some extra fun with. So I like 19. Episode 19 and the 19th of October happened earlier this week on Monday. There's no such thing as a coincidence, okay? Now, I know 19 didn't fall on the 19th, but have fun with me here, okay? It happened in the same week, so we can vibe with it. You never joke around when numbers accidentally happen. I mean, I had a conversation with my mom. She had her reunion, and she graduated high school in 1969, and she turned 69 this year, so the reunion, I think, was right around or whatever her birthday. And I was like, yo, how many times does that happen when your birthday's around your reunion? And she goes, just once. And I'm like, for everybody? And I'm like, wait, I graduated high school in 2004. I am never going to have a reunion for my high school graduation at my age unless I reach 104, 2004, and that probably won't happen. So, I mean, who knows? I take good care of myself to an extent, and I think Miller Lite may extend the longevity of my life. But all I'm saying is, yeah, that's crazy, right? So numbers play an interesting thing. So 19 is very cool. And like I said, this episode is dope. Quite the commitment level, okay? In this series so far, 19 episodes, I think there was a period where I just missed 1 week. Not too bad, right? Began this thing in May? So anyway, I just want to apologize for something. Last week, I told you guys that we would be interviewing a San Antonio electronic music group called Morning. It's actually going to be next week during episode 20. I had to reschedule it due to some marketing things, but I talked to the group, totally cool about it. So it still plays out perfectly because they are dropping an album on Halloween. It's called Gonzo, and I'm glad that we can get them in to talk about their album, get the episode out there before the release of their music so that you guys can also check them out. Really awesome. They let me preview their album, and I got to tell you, it's groovy, it's house music, but I don't want to spoil anything, so we got to tune in. You guys got to tune in next week for episode 20, all right? So let's get into it. But real quick, guys, if you have been enjoying this show and appreciate the content, please hit the like button, subscribe, and support this podcast. I promise you we're going to do some really fun stuff for the fans as we grow our numbers and continue to develop this show. But I really appreciate any way you can support us. If you like it, share it with your friends. If you think that I talk about some cool stuff or my perspective is great or it sucks, talk about it at work. Toss that plug out there. Whatever you can do, I'm here to share the entertainment with all of you guys. So, and another quick favor, if you got 3 seconds to rate this podcast, however you listen to it, if you're on YouTube, hit the thumbs up. Spotify, you can rate it. Apple Podcasts, Pandora, Google, I'm everywhere, promise. So please hook me up with a rating. I absolutely appreciate it. All right, I love doing this stuff for fun, but I also love the feedback that I've been getting from people, so please take the time and do that. It helps the metrics of the show. If you like it, then those services recommend it to other people who may like similar shows, all right? So in good, high-quality fashion and with a very much high level of consistency, we continue with the intriguing question for this week. So here it is. What is something that most people learn only after it's too late? I'm going to say that one more time. What is something that most people learn only after it's too late? Now, it's not as simple as you think. And sure, it could be food seasoning, right? That's something you learn only after it's too late. Like, oh shit, I put too much salt up in here, okay? But that's not it. That's not mine. So wait till the end and you'll see. I think it's a good one. Some of you may answer the same way. But who knows? But speaking of you don't take what I just gave up to you about seasoning. I mean, we've been there, right? Instead of using cinnamon on your oatmeal, you dump a shit ton of cayenne pepper and now you just fucked up your whole breakfast. It happens, all right? But yeah, that's something that we can all learn from. So tune into the end. I will answer the question like we always do. So let's roll into the first segment, y'all. Okay, Halloween, baby. Favorite Halloween songs for a playlist. Now, I remember being a kid, going to Halloween parties, and I remember this one time I was dressed up as Dracula, and there was creepy music. It was fun. We had a scavenger hunt, all that jazz, and then there was Halloween on the TV, right? The movie, okay? Michael Myers, creepy ass, just casually walking after people, and they're running and can't get away from him. But anyway, this is about music, but all the parties that I went to always had some type of music around Halloween, okay? So here's a question, is metal and death metal acceptable? It may be. I think so, because it's kind of creepy. There's yelling. There's loud noises. The drums are usually distorted. Lots of guitar action, speaker action going on. So if you compare some death metal music to really spooky sounds, like a collage of them all. You got the chirping bats, okay? Then you've got the shrieking people, the graveyard sounds, the thunder. I mean, it was almost you could accidentally make death metal or some type of hard guitar type music. I would say maybe thrash. I don't know. It just depends. Okay, but I think it is acceptable. And in my playlist, I'm going to toss a few out there that you may be like, dude, what? DJ Unprotected, what? Mr. House Music, Techno, Trance, sometimes toss out hip-hop in your music recommendations. What? Yeah, you're going to be surprised, but you know what? I like an eclectic playlist, and I definitely like Halloween music to match the tone, okay? So I think that death metal is acceptable. Now, I'm not sure about you guys. There are definitely some bands out there that could fit that, all right? But let's not jump into that one too soon. Let's start off nice and easy and obvious, okay? And I bring this up recently. I created a Halloween playlist and mix for somebody. They asked me if I had a Halloween playlist or something they could use for an event. And I was like, yo, I got you, all right? So doing this, I was like, man, maybe people don't know what you could do to create your own list. Obviously, there's YouTube videos that are hey, here's a spooky mix and whatnot. But, here's an idea of if you want to craft your own Halloween mix, or my idea of what I would put together to set the tone for a little Halloween gathering. Not a dance party. It's different. Gathering, dance party, some Halloween music you just can't work while you're, if you're trying to dance. It's just how it is, okay? So we start this off, how I would create and curate a Halloween mix. I'd add some spooky sounds. So like I talked about, you got the vampire bats chirping, so maybe witch laughter, some shrieking woman screaming, some moaning ghosts and ghouls and demons. Then you've got the thunder and anyway, the creaking doors, the footsteps, okay, the spooky sounds, the heavy wind, the shit that you don't want to deal with without a flashlight in a creepy old house, okay? That's exactly what you want to hear in the spooky sounds. Now, music, you can transition that, you know what I mean? I think that you absolutely have to have this next song in your playlist without a doubt, okay? It's obvious, and if you're thinking to yourself, dude, you don't have to tell us, we already know it's Thriller. Yeah, damn right. Michael Jackson's Thriller is absolutely in this playlist, okay? You cannot have a Halloween playlist, Halloween party without playing Thriller. Whatever you may think of Michael Jackson, the dude was very talented. And that song is a staple. I mean, I remember the music video. Classic, all right? So I'd absolutely play that one. Followed by, and this one's also totally appropriate, Ghostbusters theme song. Okay, what is it? The one tagline always cracks me up when they're like, bustin' makes me feel good. Is that it? Because they're busting ghosts. So, Ghostbusters theme song, another classic, you know. And then speaking of which, like, when was the last time you saw this movie? I think the last time I saw this probably was within the last 5 years. Less than that, I may have watched it last year during Halloween. You know, Ghostbusters always cracked me up. The Nick Moranis character, man, that dude annoyed the shit out of me. Like, he totally messed it up. Like, seriously, was messing it up with, you know, Sojourner Weaver's character or whatever. Probably fucked that name up. Listen, one too many Miller Lights right now. I'm not very good at those type of names. And I'm salivating hardcore. Maybe because I'm talking about Halloween. I don't know. But anyway, Ghostbusters, all right? It's been a while since I've seen it. Now, do you guys have a favorite one? I like the one with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. It's a funny, ironic moment where they're like, don't think about your biggest fears. And then they hear something like, what'd you think about? And he said, Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. And you see this big face come around the corner. And he's kind of like so happy, stomping shit out. You know, like, man. And then all of a sudden, then he gets yoked up and he becomes a cooked marshmallow and you see his sad, angry face as he's about to explode. So sad. Anyway, that's probably, I would claim that as probably like my favorite one. Loved watching it a lot growing up. Super cool. I watched it on VHS. Whatever. I digress, okay? Another song that I think needs to be in the playlist is that Somebody's Watching Me track where Michael Jackson sang the backing vocals to it. Don't know if you guys knew that, but he sang those backing vocals because I think the lead singer was his cousin. But anyway, Somebody's Watching Me. Like, it's a creepy song. It's got like that, the organ. Yeah, I know, creepy because of, you know, someone's watching you, like the Peeping Tom or whatever you want to think about. But it's got the, you know, the organ sound that's typical for, you know, that, whatever, like the Halloween sequence. So I think that one needs to be there. The Bette Midler version of Put a Spell on You from the Hocus Pocus movie. Find that from some soundtrack or rip it from YouTube. But I think that one's essential, like totally cool to add to the playlist. And you might be able to sing along to it too. Now, this is Halloween. It could be two versions, okay? The one from Nightmare Before Christmas, okay? Or the Marilyn Manson version, I think, is equally as acceptable, okay? It's cool. Obviously, it's a little more dark than the Nightmare Before Christmas, but if you had either or both separated by some time frame in between the two, you never want to double tap on a song request, DJ's preference, okay? But that's what I would roll with. This is Halloween. Then, okay, so here's like why I was bringing up the death metal or the hardcore metal, you know, borderline thrash, okay? Rob Zombie, Dragular, okay, I love that song. Like, that song is so dope. Like, it's got melody, right? And I like the chorus, okay? It's not usually my type of music. that I listen to. I like a lot of house music, EDM, and then from time to time hip hop. Okay, but yeah, this is definitely like when this pops up in my playlist, it's not the norm to hear that. But then he's also got Spook Show Baby. So I think those two songs belong in a Halloween playlist. Get to make sure it's clean. And yeah, I think it would totally work. Like, does either of them, do they meet the creepy threshold, or is it just because the loud noises and the screaming make it, kind of Halloween fitting? I think that they meet the creepy threshold, and the sounds, like I said before, death metal could just be a combination of spooky sounds all together. You have a hint of angriness to it, or whatever. Listen to the This Is Halloween by Marilyn Manson and tell me if you think it fits angry, creepy, violent, spooky. Yeah, I think they make the cut. But that's just my perspective. I thought Marilyn Manson was a pretty talented dude anyway. But we won't get into that this episode. We can talk about that next week, since next week will be heavily music focused. We'll see what's happening. But what are your favorite songs for a Halloween playlist? You could pull up the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack because, there's some creepy ones. If you want to play those around Christmas too, I guess you could. But, let's sit here and be original about this. Now, Halloween songs are original? Yeah. Halloween specific songs? Absolutely. Like, I don't know, like try to be creative. Like, what is it? Running with the Devil? Okay, you wouldn't think that one would be a Halloween song, but I think it fits. And then what else we got? Highway to Hell. Sure, you could do that one. Zombie Nation. Dude, yes, absolutely. I think that one should be in the playlist. But yeah, so like I said, we'll see. I made that Halloween playlist. We'll see if they like it, but those are some of the ideas I had going into it. And, I talked about this last week. Feedback is good, right? I'm about to have a Halloween party soon. Okay, I'm definitely going to play some of this music for chilling, but, we will get, my party people show up. We're going to get turned up. I love good music. And last time we had a private dance party at my Halloween party, of course, because I became everyone's personal DJ. So it's okay. But yeah, spooky sounds, I've been playing them all month. And sorry, I had to get a drink. But yeah, I can't believe like Halloween's almost over. It's already, the last week of October. I guess it's kind of a good thing this year's going by fast because it hasn't been like the best year ever. It's been a unique year for a lot of people, whether they had work or didn't have work. Everybody's been different. I feel like, okay, talking about this mask thing real quick, since kind of Halloween related, like, does it take away the interactions of being able to see, people's face, like obviously their face reactions, their body language? Okay, a lot of expressions happen in the face. Do we miss out on those interaction points because of the mask is covering it? Like, I feel like a lot of times I have to tell people, hey, I got to be honest with you, I'm smiling right now because what you said is awesome. Like, you got to tell people, because unless you smile with your eyes, they may not be able to see you smiling. Like, I don't know. Sorry. Totally kind of off topic there, but it's worth thinking about. So I tell people that I'm smiling because they can't see it. And I don't want to take away from that type of, I don't know, make that part of the physical conversation, right? It makes sense. Trust me. Believe me on this. I read a book about body language. The face is absolutely very important. Eye contact is definitely very important. I think that, like, I don't like talking to people who can't make eye contact. And that's 100% true. I do not like talking to people who don't like to make eye contact. Like, it's weird. And this week, met a new guy at work, and he was kind of like, he doesn't make eye contact. I was kind of just getting to know him, like, hey, welcome to whatever we're doing. And he kept looking away, like, after a few seconds of strong eye contact. Probably an introvert, but I was talking to somebody else about it. And, she's also from New York, and she was like, yeah, it's just like we just have that intense type of attitude or look when communicating with people. So I think eye contact's important. I've dated women who didn't make great eye contact, and I couldn't stand it. Like, it just bothered me. So I like to make eye contact with people. And I don't know where I went with that. Feedback is good. Body language is great. Make eye contact. Tell people you're smiling or don't. It's up to you. That's how I roll. I'm smiling right now for those of you not watching on YouTube because it's funny. All right. So we'll roll into this next topic, updating technology. Now, is it necessary to update to new gadgets all the time? And if you do, okay, is someone doing it because they love technology, or are they letting materials run their happiness? Kind of two different perspectives to look at this. I would say the first one, it's a pro. If you are a techie, you're going to love updating new technology because as a techie or someone who loves technology, you have spent a majority of your free time or anytime you have spare moments to research, read about, watch videos about technology because it makes you happy. So when you do update, you are well informed, you've been excited about it, you like where it's going. So yeah, I think in that case, you will love it. You know, if it's not your thing and you're just doing it for a status symbol or because you love buying just new things, I don't know if it means that much. I don't think you need to do it. You're probably going to create some type of pattern to get into debt in the future. I don't know, because one of the cons of updating all the time is you got to budget for it because yearly updates aren't cheap. But, you know, I'll support anybody if you want to update every year. Go for it. I don't update things like my phone for I just wait every 2 years. And some people think that's too much. I'm not telling you if you do it every year, that's not enough or too much or whatever. But I think it just warrants the conversation because I was reading in this is a Lifetime special magazine on happiness, special edition. So I was reading through it because, you know, hey, we all deal with depression and whatnot. And anytime you can find clues on finding happiness and reading throughout it, it was like people who purchase things or do things in a materialistic fashion, you know, for their materialistic needs tend to still feel empty and can't find that happiness. And it totally makes sense. So when it comes to technology, hey, you know what? Like I said, if you love tech, if you're a techie, go for it. If you're not a techie and you just want to have a new thing to hold in your hand or to be like, yo, I got this new phone, and maybe do some, you know, self-reflection and see what's really going on. But it's, you know, because the reality is new technology can be fun. It really can, how it's expanding and the integration of things and how your phone, without you even setting a reminder to tell you about something and you're driving somewhere, maybe hey, last week around this time, you usually go to this place. Do you want to go there? And you're like, oh shit, I forgot. I needed to go buy groceries today because that would have been a great idea to plan for that. You know, I don't know. But I think it's dope. Or when you get in your vehicle at a certain time, it already shows you kind of the recommended traffic route if traffic's bad, so you can plan. For me, then I know if I can stop by Starbucks on the way to work or not, depending on traffic. So I like that. You know, when you get things like new cameras, new types of videos, connectivity upgrades, it's pretty cool because it adds that extra aspect where you put a professional type of product, a premium product, in the hands of an average consumer, which is really cool. Everybody can shoot HD video and you can edit and create a product. And so many people are creating YouTube channels and content creators because they can just update to something as simple as buying a phone for $600. You can buy a $600 version, start creating a YouTube channel, buy a $100 light, and then boom, a year, 2 years from now, depending how pretty you are, your content, you could be making money. So I think it's awesome, and you're creating things high quality that are going to last a long time. Why am I talking about all this? Well, I don't know if I'd consider myself a techie. I do like looking into how technology is shaping the music industry, the entertainment industry, how involved. I mean, okay, I have a pretty good setup for putting this podcast together. But in reality, you could take iPad, you know, not the first generation, but you could take the iPad 8th generation that just came out, right? The lowest level iPad, have one of the USB mics, and essentially record your own podcast at a pretty decent level. You could also easily do it on your phone, okay, and also record video. So you could record it on the podcast, record the video on your phone, and you could be set. You could be a content creator. That stuff's pretty dope, and it's putting it in the hands of a lot of people. I don't know if you guys remember, we had my friend Mike back on one of the previous episodes, and it was talking about how, like, society, it would be good if we made opportunities for these, the ease of use of life with technology, if it was like a worldwide capability instead of just in certain sections of the world. Like, we have access to so much information, training, school, all that jazz from a device in your hand, but there's other countries who like don't have that opportunity. So if they don't go to school, they are not learning, or they can't just go look up how to do something or look up whatever, or do a different type of research. So it would be cool if that connectivity and our technology was expanded to like everyone. So as a society, the world, like a human race, we could all figure things out together. But anyway, not to harp on that. I just think that is really cool how these things are adapting. So expanding on that, I am picking up the iPhone Pro 12 tomorrow. This is exciting, or not tomorrow, but when you watch this podcast, or listen to it, I will be picking it up. If not, I've already had it. So I'm excited about that because, as I said, like I budgeted for it. I have been looking forward to it. Borderline techie, like watched a lot of videos. I kind of expected Apple to go this route with this iPhone 12 of, the straight edges and going back to kind of the similar type of design from the iPhone 4 and the iPhone 5. So, hey, I like it. I think it's cool. I know I was on the fence if I was going to go for the max version. I don't really have big hands, and the thing that I like about, so I've got the iPhone XS right now, but that size is just like 5.8 inches, and then the iPhone 12 is 6.1, so it's like relatively, like they're pretty close, okay? When I go running, I wear like that runner's belt, and I don't like know if that bigger phone, if the max would fit in there, and it might be uncomfortable. And then when I'm biking, I like to keep the phone in my pocket for quick access or have it in front of me. So I don't like to go wild with large device like in those situations. So that's why I step back. But I did want to get the max because sometimes when I'm texting on this smaller phone and I do like the weird thumb and pointer thing, okay, the space bar and the period block like totally fucks me up. Like I hit that period more than I hit the space bar. Okay, most times it's not a problem, but when it becomes an issue is when you're like, searching for a browser and you're like, or whatever, if you're looking for something, you're like, buy the new, so then you'd like new.phone.12, and it tries to take you to some web address that doesn't exist. And you're like, what the fuck? I just want to search for this. So that's when it's annoying to me. Other than that, it usually corrects itself. When I try to go to websites that don't exist, because, God forbid I accidentally type in a bad website and accidentally try to go there. All right, so keeping it real, okay? Yeah. So hopefully with this new one, maybe I won't have those issues. I don't know, but excited about it, getting it tomorrow. I decided to get the Pacific Blue. I think that color looks really dope, and we'll see how much I like the MagSafe charging. Now, I like the fast charging. I liked it before because situations prior to COVID, like, all of a sudden at like 6, 7 p.m., you've been using your phone all day and you get a text from a friend saying, hey, let's go out to eat and get drinks tonight, or we're going out dancing, and your phone's at like 30%. You're like, shit, got to leave in like less than an hour. You're trying to get a full charge by then? Probably not. So we'll see what happens. I don't, So the MagSafe thing, I got a text, totally threw me off. Terrible host. So, just kidding. Damn, man, totally lost my train of thought here. MagSafe, got it, running late, need to get a quick charge, give yourself the 20 watts, and boom, you're good to go to get out the door. I like that. I think it's like 15 watts. Yeah, I think you can get max 15 watts or something like that. If not, just the wireless charger is going to give you 7.5. So I would love to double the charging time so that 40 minutes can get like a full charge, go out and film my IG stories with my dancing and drinking with friends. It'd be awesome, so. But I will say I haven't purchased the iPad Air 4th Gen yet. It was released finally to purchase last week. I want to, because it'd be cool because I still rock the iPad 2nd generation. I can't do shit with it. Like, can't even watch YouTube videos. Can go to some like web addresses, check the weather, simple stuff, but it doesn't update and a lot of the apps don't work. So yeah, the iPad 4th Gen is like, iPad Air 4th Gen is like pretty dope because it's almost like the iPad Pro. And I was thinking about it, like it's a needs versus wants. Like I don't need it, but I want it. And there's cool things I could do with like DJ in the air because it's got like the IR sensor or something. So you can like mix, if you're watching on the YouTube channel, you can see me like stirring it up. Steer it up. But yeah, you can like mix in the air without even touching the glass plane. That's dope. All right. And I could also do something like podcast notes. I'm not reading off of my screen here in the studio. I can have script for my videos on my YouTube channel, set up like a prompter. You could have enhanced FaceTime. Dude, sounds good, right? My virtual dates, if I get any, would be dope on an iPad. But it's going to be dope on the iPhone 12 Pro. So what do you know? So those are my thoughts on that. I'm cool with updating. It's been a while, so I don't mind. I've got the Apple Watch version 3. Okay, that's how often I upgrade these things. Like, they're up to 6 now. I've got the 3. Still very happy with it. So I don't update all the time, and I'm okay with that. Even though I'm on the fence of being a techie, but I don't update all the time. I still like watching the videos, though. Cruising through, okay. Gotta watch the timestamp here because as I keep talking, cameras die and yeah, exceed limits. So real quick, well, not real quick. This is a fun one to talk about. Fashion. I think I'm going to sign up for Stitch Fix or something, or Slately. I've gotten tons of emails from them. Even though like I've got a friend who's a stylist and you may be thinking like, okay, like why would you want to do this? Like I like fashion and shopping is not the same. Like I don't know if you've been out, but shopping in stores is just like not the same. You walk in, you like want to, you know that like we're in a pandemic, so the less you touch things, the better. But you want to like look at the clothes, touch them, but then also on the flip side, like, do you want to go looking for hand sanitizer before you go touch something? Or are you going to feel weird touching like shirt, jeans, sweatshirt, whatever, just to look at it, knowing you might not buy it, but the fabric look cool? It's just like an awkward situation. Okay, so I was thinking about it just because it'd be nice to get some new gear, cruise into the holiday season, like feeling good, so I may do it. I may sign up and try the new gear monthly, see what they provide me. I really want some like Timbs and some scarves. I could probably purchase those myself. I know my shoe size. I don't care if Texas is hot. I think it'd be cool to rock some boots. And I love scarf season, so probably end of November, a month from now, will be scarf season. I'm cool with that. Shoot, I'll rock a scarf with a long sleeve shirt. I don't give a shit. Scarves are cool. So scarf, mask, long sleeve shirt, styling, definitely ready to rock some boots. And so in this process, though, I don't want some stylist to just send me clothes that like isn't me, because then it's like a waste of time to like try it on and then send it back. And it's funny because I remember when I was doing Trunk Club, and that was like when these, dealing with stylists, it was like the new thing, right? There was only a few companies that were doing it. Trunk Club was big about it. But I specifically told my stylist, okay, $150 is my limit on jeans. Like, that's my limit. Even really nice jeans. I like Calvin Klein jeans, Lucky Brand, whatever. But my limit is like $150. I think one time I surpassed that threshold with some, which one did I have? Oh, man. True Religion. Yes, that definitely passed my threshold. So she sends me these $420 white jeans. What the fuck, man? Like, okay, thanks for the tip of letting me know that I look great in white jeans, because I haven't had like white jeans since I was a kid, if I did ever. But damn, like I was like, man, I don't even know how you can compare $450 jeans like that to regular jeans. Like, I don't even know if you could tell the difference. And they had like frayed markings on it because it was like the style. It was crazy. But I was like, you know what? Took those jeans off, sent them right the fuck back. The next day, went shopping at the mall and found some white jeans for myself. So they did look dope on me. Thank you for the advice, but man, like, had to send them back. I liked them for $450. No way. So yeah, I don't want my stylist to do that. I want them to send me stuff that's like I'm interested in. Don't just try to bait and hook me and be like, this dude's about to buy $300 jeans. No, I'm not. I'm going to send it right back. I would like to buy the $300 jeans, but I can't justify it right now. So that's, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I bought like $250 Boss dress pants before. I thought that was worth it because dress pants are going to last a while, like, slacks. And I like to dress up, but white jeans, buy those and accidentally spill coffee on it, boom, Dunski's. Going to have to figure something else out. But a question about white, okay, does the whole white after Labor Day thing, like, or not wearing white after Labor Day thing, like, does it apply anymore? I don't know. I still see a lot of people wearing white. Like, is that rule beyond old school? I don't even know what started it, but, if you were hanging out in a casual group and you told someone, yo, you can't rock white, like, it's after Labor Day, would you get laughed at? Like, seriously, in today's day and age, with people's attitude of mind your business, let me be, or I'm my own individual, let me just relax and show my true colors, like, would it even matter? Like, I don't know. I've seen it in so many scenarios. Some people just tell me wear it and don't care, but I like white pants, so I'm going to wear them. But am I old school if I think of that? If I'm like, why would I wear a pure white shirt or pure white pants when it's after Labor Day? Because technically you're supposed to wait from Labor Day through Memorial Day. So September through May, you can't wear white. I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, is that extreme thinking? Like, if you have that, is it beyond old school? Or are you going to be like, what other old school thoughts do you have? What other things are you thinking? Is it wrong to do this? Like, are women only supposed to stay home? Like, what type of old school thoughts do you have? I don't know. I don't have those thoughts, by the way, but I'm not trying to get into that topic. But I'm just saying, the white after Labor Day, is it legit or not? Who knows? I've probably worn white since Labor Day. DGAF. All right, so next topic, Evil Show on Netflix. This thing was in the top 10 along with Unsolved Mysteries, and I wanted to watch the Unsolved Mysteries. Didn't have a lot of time, so I did do what I could to watch the Evil Show. Might have sacrificed some sleep, but I can't tell if this show is pro-spirituality or pro-science medicinal practice. I can't tell the difference because it's about exorcisms, which could also be psychopaths, and it includes both. So it's quite an interesting combination. The main characters, you got a seminarian, you've got an atheist who's a doctor, and you got this technological contractor who doesn't believe in anything. He's the unbiased opinion across all of them. So, and I would say that the atheist, she's pretty much unbiased. She just answers things textbook to what medicine would say about it because she's a doctor. So, yeah, I don't know. But the priest in training, his name's David. He's pretty chill dude. Like, he drinks this tea to see visions from God. And I'm like, yo, what is this tea? Like, he bought it illegally off of a dealer. So he went to see his homeboy at the club. And he said, whatever, the guy was like, yo, I got Molly, X, Coke, whatever. And he goes, just taps this leafy stuff. And this, I don't know. I don't do drugs. So that's the end of my description. I guess if I had to describe it, it kind of looked like crinkled up, like corn husks. Does that make sense? Like rolled up corn husks in a glass. Like, I don't know what he drank because he didn't say it. He just tapped it. So I don't know. But when he drinks it, he is like out of his mind, like tripping, like 1960s tripping, 1970, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Woodstock tripping, okay? But I wonder what that's like. Like, you're sitting there and you're drinking some chamomile tea and some lemon, maybe some honey, if it's before 7 p.m., and all of a sudden you just get connected to the spiritual realm. Like, walk through this portal of seeing, like, you know, God, the devil, whatever. Like, I don't even know what that realm would look like. And I don't even know what he had. You know, it wasn't synthetic. I don't know, but anyway, the show is like pretty awesome, okay? It was produced by or created by CBS Studios or what have you, and now it's on Netflix. But it's a great show, cool concepts. It reels you in. It almost reminds me some of the interactions and conflicts between characters. If you saw White Collar, it almost has like similar, you know, directing to that, where like you have the character and they have the consistent conflicts with like the antagonist who's in the show. Okay, so, and the antagonist in the show is like this guy who's like the devil, or he's like a lead demon, but he's a human. So it goes into that aspect as well, but it reminds me of that type of thing. Like you I don't know, you don't root for the bad guy, but you know, it's just a different approach to like the drama and stuff like that. But I think it's awesome. So if you haven't seen it, I would say check it out. There are some like creepy moments of like exorcism and scary demons and stuff, but I think you could handle it. But exorcisms, man, are a whole other issue. Like, they're a trip. So I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to draw the line of if you're listening and you believe in the spiritual aspects or the medicinal aspects or whatever, but they're pretty fucked up. So, you know, I remember seeing the movie The Exorcism of Emily Rose, which was based on a true experience of some like German girl. I think her name was Emily or Amelia or whatever. But I think it was Amelia. But dude, that movie, okay, tripped me out. Like, didn't sleep right for a while. But then I researched the real story behind it. And this exorcism went down in like the 50s or something, 40s or 50s or 60s. So there's like documentation of this that the church obviously like couldn't hide, because there was videotapes, there was recordings, you had pictures of this girl, Amelia or whatever, who was like possessed. Like, it was crazy. So I, of course, researched it, listened to the audio, because I wasn't sure if like how real it was. I mean, or the legitimacy of it, because some families probably maybe did that to gain some attention or money. I don't know. All right. All I'm saying is like, I didn't sleep right for quite some time. And yeah, so remember last week when I said, I'd rather be probed by an alien instead of possessed by a demon? Yup, that statement still stands. I'm sticking to my guns 110%. That's how I'm rolling, all right? So, hey, not bad. Like, we look at this, man, we got one more week of Halloween, so I got to come up with some interesting shows or whatever, because after next week, if I feel like if I talk about scary Halloween movies, people are going to be like, where's the love, dude? We're going to have to talk about Fall or some Lifetime movies of whatever. I don't know. We'll change it up, but I got some cool things. Maybe we'll have a longer episode next week since we'll have guests. But this one's not over yet. Okay, we've got the intriguing question, so you can get my perspective on this bad boy. But I'm going to take a drink of my, I would say ice cold Miller Lite, but by now it's probably like almost room temperature. Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, the intriguing question. What is something that most people learn only after it's too late? Here's my answer. Keeping their mouth shut. Or if you ever been there and thought to yourself, I shouldn't have said that. Yep, that's what I think it is. That is something most people learn after it's too late, is being quiet. For the majority of my life, my mouth operated much faster than my brain. And it didn't start to chill until I got into meditation. And I think that's because it allowed me to kind of center, balance myself, really spend more time, spending more time listening than talking. Okay, listening, active listening means not thinking of response beforehand. Even when you're in a heated conversation, just let it ride. Don't think of a comeback. All right. So, but it's true. Like, I've been much better, like, since meditating daily, taking time to be quiet, learning more about myself. It's been much better about understanding and respecting my intuition and my inner feelings to just be quiet. And I have this like sense that when I'm talking and I want to say something, I just get like this, I don't know, it's a feeling. It would feel like, the hair or like my heart starts beating and like my hair starts sticking up. And it's like something inside telling me, don't say it. Don't say it. And so there are times when I was like, man, fuck that. I'm saying it anyway. Like, be gangster and just say what you want to say, right? Like, people will respect you in a room if you say what you want to say. Well, I have said it and turmoil had happened afterwards. So I was like, okay, like, I got to learn from this. So very recently it happened again where I was like in a conversation, I had to come back and I was like, I'm going to say it to this person. I'm going to say it. I'm here in this meeting. I've got this. My heart was like kind of all of a sudden started beating quick and I felt the hair rise and I was like, you know what? I'm not saying it. I just said, cool, like professionally and casually got out of the conversation and that was it. And life has been great. So yeah, that's something most people need to learn. It's just to keep their mouth shut. Okay, listen more, talk less. That's it, But hey, what are you going to do? You let me know, like, what you think. I'm interested. Like, what is something that most people learn only after it's too late besides cooking? Don't take what I said, be your own person about this, but hit me up on Twitter at DJ Unprotected. All right, everybody. This has been episode 19. I can't believe it. This is great. This is so awesome. The commitment level is really strong, but I appreciate you for tuning in to The Output with me, DJ Unprotected. This podcast is presented by Aztec Nation. So I hope you're picking up what we're putting out. We've got a lot to say. Tune in on your favorite streaming platform next week for a brand new episode, which we will have a guest. I promise they're coming through next week. The electronic music group here in San Antonio called Mourning, Mourning, who will talk to us about their debut album dropping on Halloween called Gonzo. Going to be a great episode. Super excited. Love talking with other artists and DJs and inspiring people. All right. So we will see you next week. Have a great weekend.